Hi everyone, welcome back to Sylvan's Way. Today we are diving into the Seasons of the Witch Winter Tarot. This is a frost-kissed intuitive deck filled with quiet magic, icy symbolism, and the gentle glow of interlight. If you love winter decks, introspective readings, and anything by Lorriane Anderson and Tijana Lukovic, you're in for a treat. Just a quick reminder, my Forest of Gratitude 500 subscriber giveaway is still open. The link is up here as well as in the description if you would like to participate. All right, let's step into the snow. This deck is the first full 78 card tarot of the Seasons of the Witch series, which usually focuses on oracle decks. But here the creators blended the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith structure with winter folklore, witchcraft symbolism, introspective seasonal themes. This deck really embodies the spirit and energy of winter, which is stillness, inner listening, shadow work, and slow transformation. So let's take a look at the packaging. I'm going to put these two to the side for now. We will come back to those. But the packaging of this box, it is a two-part box, and it doesn't have finger holes. Look and see how it doesn't go all the way down. So you can grab a hold of the bottom and pull it out. And this deck is by Rock Pool. So this is the packaging. I got a little ding on it in shipping. And the back of it says, discover the wintry wisdom of Yule and Imbolc and the season of rest and reflection in the first of a new tarot series. The best-selling Seasons of the Witch Oracles continues their odyssey, this time unveiling a beautiful brand new set featuring the 4 seasons, spring, summer, fall, and winter. We begin our adventure with the Winter Tarot, where familiar elements of the tried and true Rider-Waite-Smith system are reimagined in an evocative story of festive maidens, snowy creatures, and frosty potions, brews, and magical tools. The 78 cards unearth wintry themes of rest, reflection, and of course the Sabbaths. Explore how the harmonic relationship between Yule and Imbolc and the Earth's barest season seamlessly blends to unlock deep divinatory wisdom, all while embracing a new way for the tarot to shift its energy throughout the year. So this deck is their first one of 4, and this is the winter version of it. So that is the packaging, and when we open it up, it's got a pretty picture. It's blue on the inside. It has a little ribbon so you could pull out the book and the cards, and then it has, of course, you know, the cardboard that holds the cards in. So, you know, pretty standard Rock Pool box. So we're going to put that to the side. And next we're going to take a look at the guidebook. So this is a nice, thick, chunky, full-colored guidebook. And this guidebook is her classic writing. If you know anything about Lorriane Anderson, it's got like intuitive meanings, seasonal insight, like witchcraft notes. There's journal prompts in here, and simple rituals that you can do. So there's a lot of information packed into this guidebook. So when we open it up and we look at it, we have an introduction, the spirit of winter, the seasons as archetypes, and how to use the cards. There's a couple of spreads, and then it goes through all of the separate cards. So it has a lot of information in here, and I love that there's these full card images. And So let's flip through it, how to use the cards. The spreads that she gives are quite large spreads. I was really surprised. She also talks about reversals in here and about how she doesn't even really read reversals because she feels in the deck itself, it's got reversals built in. But if you wanted to do reversals, how you would do it, because she doesn't have reversals in the card meetings that we're going to get to in a second. So we have some card spreads here, and then it jumps into the actual cards themselves. And so it gives you the image of the card, the title, it gives you a description and some information about what's happening in the card and why why the artist created it the way they did, and then the divinatory meaning of it. And it does that for each one. And so all the way through. So lots and lots of information in here in the book itself. Now, there was some changes in the cards that I really wish they had pointed out. So let's see if I can remember them. The Winter Witch is actually the magician. So they changed that. So card number 1 is changed. Judgment was changed to, justice was changed to winter consequences. And moon is called new moon and sun is called midnight. And then judgment is self-reflection. And then ascending to spring is the world card. So there are changes to it that you have to be aware of when you're reading from this deck. The other change that she made was the page is now the Apprentice of Winter Wands. The knight is the, the page is the Initiative of Winter Wands. The knight is the Apprentice of Winter Wands. I'm sorry, I'm saying Winter Wands, but that's not what I mean. I mean, it's the Apprentice. The Artisan is the Queen, and the Master is the King. So she made those changes as well. And it's really important. When I first pulled this deck out and I was like doing some readings with it, I was like, oh, I'm confused. I mean, it's bad enough that winter is on every card, and I know plenty of people have already talked about that, but then to change some of these key cards and not being aware of it and just doing a reading the first time, it could be a little confusing. And so that's why the guidebook comes in. The only thing I really do wish that she had done in this guidebook is added a section where she lists out the card name changes so that it's easier to reference instead of having to go through the guidebook and put it together yourself. Okay, so let's take a look at the cards. These are the cards. They are so pretty. These cards are your normal tarot size cards, so they're 70 by 120 millimeters. The gilding is the beautiful blue gilding, and this is the same gilding that is on the Imbolc cards. And then the back of them are the same backs as the Imbolc cards, and I'll show you those. You can do reversibles, so she did include in the backs the way that you could do reversibles. So if you did want to use reversibles, even though she didn't put descriptions in the guide for reversibles, you can read these with reversibles. The artwork for it, it's really soft and I would say dreamy and really folklore infused, with a palette that has got like icy blues and purples. We've got a lot of browns in here. We have like those moonlit whites and a lot of candles. So warm candle gold highlights. In here, you'll see woodland animals, glowing lanterns, delicate snow. And then, like, of course, there's like these characters that are wrapped in this winter mystery. So, I mean, it's really a pretty deck. It's not holiday winter. it is more of a what I would call spiritual winter. It's really gentle, and you're introspective. It's like honest and like quietly magical. Like the couple of readings, that's how I felt about it. Let's do a flip through so you could take a look at these so you can see them. I feel like this deck would be really gentle, but I don't feel like it would avoid shadow work. I think it would be really great for readings such as winter meditations, for doing journaling, definitely new moon readings, light shadow work, definitely end of the year reflections, and then nightly single card polls. I think that would be really, really good. I feel like it's like less suited for like fast paced predictive readings, and it's more of a slow, soulful deck. I mean, think like rest and recovery, emotional honesty, clarity through stillness, and ancestral whispers. Like really winter timing and patience. I feel like this deck would go well with. So that's the type of readings that I think it would go with. Let's do a shuffle so you can see what it shuffles like. Yeah, I thought that this deck would shuffle really nicely. Actually, this isn't the first time I've shuffled it. I did do a getting to know you spread with this, but then I had to put all of it back in order so I could show it and do this video, which is good. I think like shuffling your deck and putting it back together is one way to really get to know it. I think another way that you could get to know your deck is actually doing like simple games with it, like solitaire. It really like gets you to know the deck. I think when you have to put them in order and play solitaire and stuff like that with it. Let's do an overhand. So it does shuffle really nice. This cardstock is not too thick, which is really nice. I like that about it. And I wanted to show you with this after the shuffling. So let's do one more shuffle because I'm going to do a reading with this in just a moment. But so I want to make sure it's good and shuffled. But I want to show you also the way that it looks with the Yule Oracle as well as the Imbolc Oracle. So let me show you that first before we do the reading. So let's look at the Seasons of the Witch Yule Oracle with it first. So I'm not going to show other pairings with other decks, mostly because I don't plan on using this deck with other Oracle decks. This deck was specifically made to go with the Seasons of the Witch and the Yule Oracle and the Imbolc Oracle. So I definitely will be using them together. I mean, I have, why not? If the artwork goes and it reads well together, why not use decks that go well together, that are made to go with each other? That's what I meant to say, that are made to go with it. So I just wanted to do a quick little flip through so that you can see what it looks like with each one of these decks in case you have them. So you know right away, all of the art style, of course it goes with it because it was made by the same people. So that is the Yule Oracle with it. Let me get this out of here and we'll look at the Imbolc next. So the Seasons of the Witch Imbolc Oracle. And of course, I think I was going to show you the backs, see how they're so similar, very, very similar for the backs. And oh, how do I normally? Okay, I usually flip them over. Okay. Notice that on my Imbolc Oracle, I did mark out the saying at the bottom of it and put in keywords instead. So I like the keywords more than the little sayings. The sayings didn't really do anything for me. I like the keywords. So, I think this is actually when I'm going to be using this deck combination. I am going to be using the Seasons of the Witch Winter Tarot in January with this Seasons of the Witch Imbolc Oracle. So these are the two that I will be using together in January. For December, I'm going to be using a Christmas deck. So of course I have to be using a Christmas deck in December. For me, that's just the season and I just have to do it. But in January, this is when I'll be using this deck. But I wanted to show it in case you were looking for a winter deck that you can use for December through January. That's really the perfect time for me. I mean, this is just a seasonal deck to me. And that's how I'm going to be using it. So that is the Seasons of the Witch Imbolc Oracle with it. And of course, they go really well. Okay. Okay, let's give it another shuffle because I want to do a reading for you. Yesterday, I shared the Winter Reflection Spread as a post. And so I wanted to do that reading as a collective reading for the masses, and so that you can see how this deck actually reads in practice. So I was thinking maybe I would start doing readings from books, but her readings in the book were just too long and I just wanted it to be a simple 3-card spread. So that's why I put it together. So this one is called the Winter Reflection Spread, and it is about ice, intuition, and inner light. Okay, so for the ice, what needs stillness, rest, or release? And we have the 6 of Wands. For intuition, what truth is rising beneath the surface? And we have the King of Pentacles. And for our inner light, what guidance is ready to lead me forward? So this is a really, wow, these cards are really pretty together. Okay, so the ice. So the 6 of Wands is usually about recognition. It is about accomplishment, validation, and being seen. But in the ice position, what needs stillness or rest? You can almost read this card as a reverse card. That's kind of the way that I look at it in these kinds of readings. So what needs rest? The 6 of Wands. So your recognition, accomplishment, that kind of stuff needs rest. So it really suggests needing rest from striving for approval, pushing for success all the time, external validation, trying to keep the momentum going, which really goes with the winter season. Of course, we need rest from that momentum that was going. So you need a rest from performing when you're tired. Like that's the kind of stuff. So this need to go through. So I feel like this card is like asking you to take a pause in the parade, step off that horse, and just breathe. Release the need to constantly show progress. So that is the Six of Wands. Then for the intuition, what truth is rising beneath the surface? And that is the King of Pentacles. So this archetype is about grounding security, stability, long-term nourishment. In this one, I feel like the cards are telling us that we're ready to move, ready for more stability than what we currently allow ourselves to claim. It is saying, your intuition is saying, I want solid foundations. I want to feel rooted. I want to invest in what actually sustains me. It's saying I'm capable of more, maybe some more leadership, authority, leadership roles than maybe you admit. Maybe that's coming up, those leadership roles, but definitely solid foundations and feeling rooted. That seems to be rising beneath the surface. So that's the intuition. And then for our inner light, what guidance is ready to lead me forward? So the Hangman is really like a lantern in the dark. It is the inner light that comes from surrendering, from stillness, from a new perspective. So your path forward is about slowing down on purpose, looking at your patterns maybe a little differently, allowing a pause to illuminate some truth in your life, accepting growth maybe that happens in suspension, maybe releasing old expectations, maybe giving yourself permission not to rush. So this whole thing is about roots and not rushing and not being in the limelight, like all of that kind of stuff. It's like your inner light is asking you to see your identity separately from this accomplishments, which ties back to this Six of Wands, and understanding that your security really means what it really means to you with this King of Pentacles, and trust that a new direction or mindset is definitely forming beneath the surface, and being willing to take a moment of cocooning almost to allow those things to come forward. The overall message of this spread here is let the pressure to be on melt away. Take some time off. Your intuition is calling you toward deeper stability and more grounding to make success. But because you won't get there by pushing. You'll get there by pausing and reframing and surrendering to that stillness of the winter season. Winter is offering you a shift in perspective that will become your guiding light to do. So I think that's a really great reading. Tell me below in your comments if you found something in this reading, if you found that helpful. Let me know if you read these cards differently, if you saw them differently than the way I read them. So definitely let me know. Okay, so overall, I feel like the Seasons of the Witch Winter Tarot is really beautiful. I feel like it's a great introspective deck. Let me zoom this out for you. And it's perfect for deep winter energy. I feel like it's really, this deck is going to work for you if you really love like seasonal decks, of course. If you enjoy gentle but meaningful readings, If you want to work with shadow and reflection, oops, I put that on backwards. If you appreciate this artwork, of course, that's going to be a good reason. And then if you really connect with the writer's intuitive guidebooks, the way that she writes those out, I feel like this deck really holds space for quiet magic and, you know, the kind you feel when the world is hushed and the only light is your own. So to speak. So thanks for stepping into the winter woods with me today. If you enjoyed this review, please like, comment, or subscribe and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow. Don't forget to join the Forest of Gratitude giveaway. The links are below. And until next time, stay warm, stay magical, and I'll see you in the next video. I appreciate you. Bye.